Okay, YouTube, 13 Days of Friday, day 11. I have just finished watching Freddy Vs Jason. Now, it's said to be the film to wrap up both franchises of A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. It's otherwise known as A Nightmare on Friday the 13th. Freddy vs. Jason is written by Damien Shannon and Mark Swift and directed by Ronnie Yu, and it stars Manika Keena, Kelly Rowland, Catherine Isabel, and Ken Kersinger, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and Robert Englund as the legendary Freddy Krueger. Now, first of all, I think not bringing back Kane Hodder was a bad move, because Kane Hodder made Jason, the role of Jason, his own, and he wanted to come back and do it too, but they wanted a taller and even bigger guy that walks like a zombie more, and they found Ken Kersinger, who they got to play Jason. He does do a good job, but it's just the physique of Jason, he's not Kane Hodder's physique. Also, it's like, I do like the look though he's got, I do like the look of Jason in this one, how he's dressed and everything. I even made my own Jason costume based on it. So yeah, the film sort of opens up. Well, I'm running a bathroom. It's like, 8:30 in the morning for me in England. I've got up early to watch it because I've got like a busy day in front of me. The film starts where Freddy just has his whole quick backstory reveal, clips from all the old Nightmare on Elm Street films. They didn't show it with Jason though, because I think Paramount owns all the rights to those, and it was made by New Line. After Freddy reveals how he became who he is, he then woke up Jason and sent him to Springwood, Elm Street, to make the kids remember, because everyone's forgotten him and he's too weak and not powerful enough. But I'm just wondering though, the kids in the original films, though, they had no knowledge of him or remembering him. They probably had repressed memories of him, but they never remembered him. So, why did they need to remember him in Freddy vs. Jason? Anyway, the end of Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, set the events for it. We just had a 10-year wait, and of course, luckily I didn't start watching these films till like I was 14, 15 or something, so, I've never been, I didn't really have to really wait, did I? So, but it gave the fans what they've been wanting for 10 years, and it was a good film. It had a good storyline to it and stuff. It's just, to me, it sort of looked more like A Nightmare on Elm Street with Jason in. And Robert Englund even said that the finale, the fight scene, is like a cartoon, cat and mouse, like Tom and Jerry sort of thing. And also, I think they should have got a better director. A director who had better experiences and more knowledge of the characters. Because Ronnie Yu, when he directed The Bride of Chucky, he had not seen a Child's Play film, so he had no knowledge of Chucky. And for this, he watched the first Nightmare on Elm Street and the first Friday the 13th. So he did have little knowledge of the characters and didn't really know much about them. And even at Vegas, they had a Wayne and stuff at the film's premiere. Anyway, what happens in it is he gets Jason to come back, to go to Springwood so he can come back. The film's first killing, it involves a girl skinny dipping just to set the scene for Jason's side of it all. And then Catherine Isabel, she has sex in it with boyfriend and he gets killed, and it's done by the iconic kill where he gets stabbed to death on the bed and folded in half, and then the blood starts gushing through from there. Another character, his dad gets killed, and then he wakes up and his dad's head's falling off, and Jason butchers him. So yeah, they all get picked off one by one. There's another bit at this party in a cornfield where Catherine Isabel's character passes out from exhaustion and falls asleep. Mum's hoovering up. And, yeah. She gets killed by Jason because Jason's in the cornfield, out on his killing spree. So, yeah, he gets, he has a bit of a good time there. And then they go to the mental hospital where Laurie is our main protagonist girl, and her boyfriend Will, who's been in a mental hospital for many years because of the nightmares. They made a drug which can repress nightmares, and he does that. And then they realise, if they want to beat Freddy, they need to stop having nightmares. So they take the nightmare repressing drug, and they kill. And in order to stop him, but Freddy possesses some stoner guy in it, who's also one of the gang. And Freddy possesses him, and he pours away all the medicine. But they need to get Jason to go to sleep, so they need to stay awake so they can weaken Freddy. That all goes tits up, and Freddy, possessing the guy, tranks Jason and knocks him out, and then Freddy gets the advantage in the dreams. So they take Jason back home to Crystal Lake, where he can have a good home advantage. And he does. He has a good homing advantage. And next thing, Laurie, she goes to sleep next to Jason to help him, because Freddy gets him in his nightmare and brings out his inner child when he drowned and stuff. She tries to save Jason, but then Jason wakes up. Next thing, she's still in the dreams with Freddy. But of course, if you know the films of Nightmare on Elm Street, if you grab Freddy and wake up, he'll come into reality, and he does, because Laurie wakes up and does that. Then it's a big showdown between Freddy and Jason. Freddy versus Jason, place your bets. They should have had that in. They shouldn't have put that in deleted scenes. Anyway, next thing, Freddy and Jason are scrapping and fighting. Oh yeah, the guy that Freddy possessed when he got tranked, Jason cut him in half. Jason also electrocuted a deputy in it. The coppers were taking matters into their own hands as well with Freddy. So yeah, they have a bit of a scrap in the cabin first. Then Kelly Rowland, she's also in it, as I mentioned. She stands up to Freddy, distracting him for a moment, saying, "You're not scary," and then Jason just knocks her flying with his machete and kills her. Then they have a whole cat and mouse fight. Freddy fires some gas tanks. Jason gets impaled on some spikes. Freddy tries to knock a crate over. He fails. He gets caught swinging. Then Freddy and Jason fight. But of course, with Freddy being in the real world, he's mortal than weak. So next thing, he's having a fight with Jason on the pier. And Jason rips his arm off and stabs him with his machete. And of course, Freddy, he cuts Jason's fingers off with his knife to get hold of the machete, so he stabs Jason with it. He even jabs Jason's eyes out, and then Jason falls into the lake. And then Laurie and Will set off some big explosion, and then we think they're both dead, but then Freddy comes back. And then I'm like, when I first watched it as well, I thinking, no, Freddy's won, but after watching it so many times, I know Jason won. So Jason rammed Freddy's arm, Freddy's own arm, through himself after he ripped it off. Then he fell to his knees. Jason went back into the lake. Laurie grabbed hold of Jason's machete and just said to Freddy, "Welcome to my world, bitch," and cut his head off. And then that was the end. But of course, the very end scene, Jason is seen rising out of the lake with Freddy's head in one hand and his machete in the other. And he has the iconic slit in the mask again, because he didn't have that in the film. So yes, Freddy vs. Jason. It was released in 2003. So, Freddy vs. Jason, what am I going to give it? I'm going to give it a 3 yeah, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It was a lot better, because it was a lot better than the previous two films of Jason. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. And Jason was a bit more better. I just wish Kane Hodder would have been Jason. And I sometimes wish they would have made Freddy vs Jason vs Ash, but they didn't. But they did as a comic. So yeah, I think New Line sort of did improve a tad on Jason, but they had more better stuff on Freddy because they owned the rights to A Nightmare on Elm Street. So yeah, Freddy vs Jason, 2003. So if you like this video, please give it a like. Let me know what your thoughts are on this film in the comments down below. Also, I'm on social media, so there are links to my Facebook. Please like me on Facebook. There's also a link to my Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter to stay updated on what I get up to outside of the YouTube world. And, yeah, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you after this one. So, yeah, we have one more film to watch now, and that is the Friday the 13th 2009 remake. And also it's the penultimate day of my 13 Days of Friday, and then it's Friday the 13th where I'll be doing my Friday the 13th special part 3. I'm going to title it Friday the 13th special part 3, 13 Days of Friday, day 13, the final day. So, make sure you tune in for that on Friday. And make sure you tune in tomorrow for my last vlog review of Friday the 13th, of all the Friday the 13th films. And if you've missed any of them, I'll leave a link to all those in the description below, and links to my first 2 Friday the 13th specials. So yeah, till next time, goodbye friends.